How's it going, everybody? Doing an eating lunch video here, and I'll be drinking some ginger ale. This is the Food Lion brand. I gotta admit, the Raging Grape and there was an orange one I think I had, and the regular cola one, all solid. This ginger ale, though, it doesn't even come close, at least for me, to like a Canada Dry or a Seagram's. I always forget. Isn't there like a third really well-known one? It is drinkable, yes. But if I was giving it a score, it'd probably be like a 4 out of 10. But I did get this, and I have some left to mix with alcohol, so I do like a ginger ale. But this just isn't. The other ones are like comparable. This one I feel like is not. And I'll just be eating some leftover pad see ew from this Thai sushi place last night. Oh, I don't know when I'm putting this up. I'm filming it on Sunday, so I'm probably putting it up Monday. I put the PS5 game pick up this morning. I'm probably putting another different type of video up at night, but who knows? Maybe this goes up tonight. I don't know. But I got pad see ew, so I brought some home because they hook you up. I got chicken with it as well. I do like this dish, and this is a good one too. I figured I'm eating it for lunch. I might as well film it. I'm a lefty when I eat and write, so I probably should have had the mic on this side because I lift up and I gotta try to avoid the mic. I do bump it enough, but the plus is those Food Lion. Are they 2 liters, right? Yeah. They are only $1, so you know what? It says broccoli and carrots in it. There's only one broccoli left. I didn't take the rest. I'm losing interest in broccoli over the past like year. I used to like it a lot more, but I don't know. It's not doing it for me anymore. Adds a little crunch though. I think they played it was the WNBA All-Stars versus the Olympic team, the women that are going to be on the Olympic team. And I got something, I don't know, there's something hanging from my hat. But the All-Stars beat the Olympic team players. And the one woman, I don't know her name, but I guess she got snubbed. I'm not talking about Caitlin Clark or anybody. This is someone who's been in the league, I don't know how long. Apparently she got snubbed and she destroyed them. Everybody's like, yeah, she should be on the team. do start. It's 26th. Oh, that's probably just the opening ceremonies. I'll be checking that out when I'm in Florida. It's in France, right? I don't know. I know England's, what, 5 hours off of East Coast U.S. time? France has got to, what is France? I don't know what France would be from England. Maybe another 2 hours or an hour. So maybe it's going to be like 7-hour difference. Because when the Olympics are all over the place, they'll have like, when they have them live, they'll replay the events. But when they do it live, stuff will be on like 2 in the morning and stuff. Which if you can't sleep, it's great because you got something to watch. This is good though. I've gotten this. There's a place we went to in New York where I got this. It was good. We went to another place in Asheville. This place was in Salisbury. My fiance was watching, or is watching, her father's dog while they're away. And I went out there and we hung out. And we went there. There's one in town too. I think it's just called Simply Asian. I did not. She had their Pet CU. She liked it. I did not have it. What I had was good. I can't remember. Was that a ginger chicken maybe? That goes out. Like I said, it wasn't a ton, but I'll finish the drink here and, as always, just ramble. So I'm going to try to film. I'm going to definitely film at least another video today. I might film 2 more videos. When I go to Florida, I want to have 2 kind of in reserve at least. Realistically, 1 for the day I leave, which is the 28th, and then probably 1 for the day I get there, which is the 29th. Just so on the 29th specifically, because I won't get picked up. This train will be late. I mean, the last time I was on the train. Even both times. When I went to Florida in 2022, the train was ended up being 5.5 hours late total. Like I said, there was an engine problem, replacing the engine in DC. And then they hit a deer somewhere in North Carolina. So those 2 helped. Really, they were the main reason it was that late. I mean, then you're naturally not going to get there on time anyway. But I think when I first took it home in 21, it was, pretty close to on time. It might have been 20 minutes off, 15 minutes off. And then the way back from Florida that time, I got picked up in Raleigh because my fiance was at her dad's. So she drove down. So, oh no, she was picking up a car. I forget what it was, but she picked me up in Raleigh, which is where I'll be leaving from. And that was late too by 2 hours. So that lateness would have picked up if I was going back to New York. It probably would have been at least 4 hours late. So it leaves at night from Raleigh, going down to Florida. So I fully expect to not be getting on that train till probably 11 o'clock at least. And it sucks. You can follow that at least to see where it's at. And then whatever happens along the way. But I'm going into Kissimmee and not Winter Haven. I'm going to leave from Winter Haven because it doesn't matter. Going back, it'll just be Winter Haven. Then I think Kissimmee is the next stop. But I've talked about this. I think I've talked about this. I had to have. On the way down, if you come down, it should go Kissimmee, Winter Haven, Lakeland, Tampa. But when it bypasses Winter Haven on the way here. So it goes Kissimmee, Lakeland, Tampa, and Tampa's a rest stop. So you chill for like 15, 20 minutes. People get off the train, you stretch your legs, whatever. And also it's weird too because I have to back into the station in Tampa. So they pull and then they have to like pull into this thing and then reverse. And you got it, like some of the crossings, like you could be stuck at this crossing for probably 20 to 25 minutes, which is nuts. And it's not even because it's a huge train that's carrying supplies and whatever, and it's got tons of cars on it. It's mainly because they have to back in, because the Amtrak's got cars on it. It's not a small train, but, it's not a 20-car train. Not 30. Some of these trains are ridiculous if they have stuff on them. They could be a mile long. Actually, they could be longer than that. But it's like, oh man, you're stuck at that light, and you're just at that train crossing. You're just like, come on. As this train, you're like watching the people from your window, and things like taking a month. But yes, it skips Winter Haven on the way down, and that adds 4 hours. And I'm looking like, well, if I just go to Kissimmee's not much further for my mom and aunt to pick me up. It's maybe an extra 15 to 20 minutes than Winter Haven is from where they are. So I was like, it's 4 hours less. I'm like, yes. Like, because then if the train's late anyway, so it's like, example, last time I got there, I was supposed to get there at, when was I supposed to get there? God. I don't know, 2 something. I got there like 7. Or did I get, was it, maybe it was, no, I could have sworn I got there like 7. Whatever it may have been. Yeah, I want to say maybe it was around a little, maybe it was less than 5 hours late. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to get in at 2 something, because I'm pretty sure, let me see if I have the thing real quick. It turned into a true little ramble about train times and when they're going to get to certain places. I gotta look at my email and see if it says it. I forget. I don't want to check that full thing. Mansion with a heavy heart calls on Biden to end his presidential campaign. Sure, dude. I'm sure your heart's real heavy about that, dude. None of these people give a shit. Let's see. Where are you? Let's see. It's not giving me the time on this. It should get there around 11, a little after 11 it's supposed to get there. Yeah, so I think, so maybe it's not a full 4 hours then. It's probably like 3:45. Less, because I think, I'm trying to remember from memory, unless they've changed the time slightly since 2022. It was supposed to get into Winter Haven at like 2:50. So it's like 3 hours, 50 minutes less. So hopefully it's not overly late. If it's like an hour late, so be it. But once you're there, right? You're on the train. It's like, it's more about when I get on the train. It sucked being on the train and you're waiting and you start to get frustrated because you're like, when's the next hiccup gonna come? When's the next delay or whatever? Now, of course, the problem with the engines, where the first 2 engines they got to replace were faulty and they had to get a third. Normally, I'm sure that doesn't happen. Hitting a deer, I'm sure it does not happen often. So you take those 2 out of the equation, and that train was probably only going to be like 45 minutes late, which whatever. So I don't know. But I don't want to be stuck waiting for the train to get on it for a year. if I'm stuck on the train itself, I can deal with that a little more than having to wait at the station for like an extra 2 hours. I'm just not in the. I don't like. Then it turns into being at the airport, you know. Which I don't want. That's the worst part of the airport, you know. And you always gotta get there early because you don't know how security is gonna be. And shit, and usually even when we would go to JFK or LaGuardia, it was mostly JFK. We never really had any real problem where it was like 2 hours to security. The only time at any airport actually was coming back from Orlando once was rough. It was taking a month, and I don't like that, and most people don't. Like, I start to get antsy, and then the way they're like, okay, sometimes you can't bring chips onto the plane. I remember one time I had Pringles. I was like, you know what? I'm just throwing these out. I don't care. You know, oh, sometimes you need to take your shoes off. Somebody's like, just stop, okay? Like, it's one or the other here, you know, because then you're just admitting taking off your shoes fucking doesn't do anything, because sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't. You know. But then you're in there, and then you breeze through, you know, and you're stuck sitting there for 2.5, 3 hours because you got there super early. Which, listen, better to be early than to be rushing, because then you're fucked. This isn't like back in the day where you could rush through an airport and probably get lucky. So we all know the game changed after 9/11. But anyway, that's just a little ramble here, drinking some ginger ale and eating my leftover pad see ew. Just figured, you know what, I'm going to eat it and let's throw a video. Right? People seem to be enjoying the eating videos. Let's do it. But yeah, thanks for checking this out, and have a good day.